Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. What's up Point, what's up Abbas, what's up Sohab, Steven, Slinger? How are you guys doing? First stream? Well, welcome to the first stream. How are you doing? How is life treating you? I love this new event. Do you? Well, I mean, that's good to hear. What you get from this new event? Are you? Need your signals? Alright, it's Linger. I'm all ears. And Bishop Silicon Ascended Phantom. Nice. That's man. Flexes manly moves. Well, there wouldn't be moves if they were not manly. Should I go for Valiant for items or go for Onslaught? That's a big decision, but I would still go for Valiant. Unless you're capable of getting Valiant in like a couple of, days or weeks. Like, if you are confident that you will get Valiant in like very, very short order, which with your progression rate might be the case, I'd pick Onslaught. The Black Source or Medusa? Don't have either sense that. That is a very good question. If you're talking about them being unduped, I'd pick Deadpool X-Force. I think you get more value out of unduped Deadpool X-Force than you get of unduped Medusa. Because for Deadpool X-Force, the only matchup that you would be slower in, but still perfectly doable, is the Nick Fury. For Medusa, there are significant amount of matchups where you need that awakening. So I'd pick Deadpool X-Force. And Deadpool X-Force seems like, what's the best way to put it? Any meta that gives you, he's good in general, and then any meta that seems to give you extra damage, like, the power shields, like any attack increase and stuff, Deadpool X-Force just explodes. Nick Brown? No longer free to play. Pick new Photon, Kushal, and Shocker, and got them all awakened. Awesome, man. That is a massive haul, though. That is a big one. And yeah, for like non-hard, like the ability to target champions is so good.
Or I'm gonna slap you right in your penis.
James, should I choose Onslaught Dupe or New Kushal? New Deadpool X-Force. Mystic Jump for Kushal. Those are very tricky questions. If you're patient enough, I'd pick Deadpool X-Force, because Deadpool X-Force you will not get anywhere else. Kushala you can get in just about any next crystal opening. And dupe is significantly less important. So definitely not the dupe Onslaught. It's a question of new Deadpool X-Force, new Kushala. I think Kushala is more important as a champion to have, but Deadpool X-Force is significantly harder to acquire, so I'd pick Deadpool X-Force first. Matches. Yep, that is true Slinger. But I already did that. He's been selected. Okay. You're only missing relevant champion Serpent, which you cannot get. Yeah, I suppose you can grab some Tessa and basics. Yeah, I think that makes sense somehow. The 7 Warlock, so is this team good for Ordeal? Onslaught, Serpent, Warlock, Silk. You don't need Silk and Hulk, I'd say.
History began on July 4th, 1776.
I'd probably bring in...
that was a mistake.
I'd probably bring in Hulk plus somebody else. Figure out which matchup would be trickier. What's up, Jamesy? I'm free to play option this event. Open regular item Titan Godzilla. Next time, the first time dupe on Dazzler. Very happy. Dude, that's awesome. Happy for you. Already answered. Oh. 9-6. Okay. 1 second. And 6. Pick Medusa Photon or Kushala Sensor. I do have Cosmic Awakening Gem for Medusa though. I mean, overall, again, I would pick Photon personally there. I think Photon is by far and away the most. I think Photon is one of the top 4 champions in game. And yeah, Photon would be an awakened initially, but getting the champion is very big way forward. So I think I'd pick Photon. It's 7th this past season. I think Clan BG was till I figure out who. Fair enough. Silk or Hulk, I have both. Hulk is gonna be more useful in the ordeal. Onslaught from deal and activate him immediately. Can he solo ordeal? He can do most of the fights in ordeal. He can do a lot of the fights in ordeal, yeah. He can do Doom. He can do Onslaught. You can probably do Modok with him. He can definitely do. Yeah, he can do a ton of fights. And say solo. Some Messiah. Bringing for I-Bomb as Poison Immune. Releasing Silk with Sinister. Again, don't think you need Sinister for much, but you might as well. I think you don't really. Yeah, it's kind of up to you. If anything, I'd probably replace Hulk with Deathless She-Hulk, even if it's like rank 2. And then for the final spot, you can just express yourself really. Just go over the matchups and figure out which one you might need some extra help. Waps, Skyline. Okay, Waps, Skyline, you're lost. Going AFK, going silent is my envy. If you're rank 4 onslaught makes me well envious. Well, I'm pushing C1 now that the rewards are updated. I'm gonna be trying my best to get as high as I can. I don't know if it's gonna be C1. I realistically don't think I'm skilled enough at the moment to push C1, but I'll try to do my best. Would it be better to pick Medusa instead of Onslaught from the selector? Because there's no other way to get Medusa. That makes sense, but no, I'd still pick Onslaught. Because Onslaught is, like, here's the thing. Medusa is a nice to have champion that will be hard to acquire for a long time, but you can make do without Medusa. There has been no environment in the game where it's kind of Medusa or bust, or Medusa or you're gonna struggle a lot. Because there are alternatives to Medusa. Onslaught is a must-have champion. I'm a bit worried about Terax. Can Ozzy take, or Serpent take him? Onslaught can take him with basically spamming heavy attacks. 1 second. You can bring in specific counter, yes, but 1 second. I think there is a video on YouTube. First Terax ordeal. Yeah, that is weekend. I'm quite sure Onslaught was able to do that fight with spamming shit ton of heavy attacks. If you want, you can bring in like Wiccan or something for it. Wiccan destroys it. Yeah, Legacy did it with his Onslaught. Yeah. You can see it. It's fairly easy though. I mean, you do lose health. But, I think he actually did it wrong. Or whatever. I think most people who said you just kind of spam your heavy attack in the corner, and that's it. But yeah, Onslaught can do it. There's a Legacy, had a soul on it, but again, I do think there's a better option. But either way, there you go. That's all that's supposed to. My second and third sensor, there's certain domino thoughts. Decent. Could be worse, could be better. Onslaught can do Sasquatch, yes. I have done Sasquatch's Onslaught as well. But if you bring in Hulk or Deathless She-Hulk, those are very, very good for it. Deathless She-Hulk would probably be the better option there. For Cassie Path, my team rank 2 Onslaught, rank 3 Jugs, rank 3 Purgatory. I do Cassie with Onslaught, it's difficult. It is a difficult fight. On the bright side, you can practice as much as you want. Deluxe Force or next Titan Crystal. I mean, I'd pick that, probably that Deluxe Force personally. Because you're gonna get Titan Crystals. Not gonna get Deadpool. Domino rank 2, is that a good move? Yeah. Domino, solid champ for sure, especially if you synergize Domino up with, for questing and stuff, with Red Hulk and Massacre. You can get some crazy stuff going. New Deadpool X-Force or dupe for Onslaught? New Deadpool X-Force. Unless you care about... Here's the thing, Onslaught dupe has not mattered to me, or undupe has not mattered to me just about ever. Onslaught's dupe is mainly for prestige. I mean, it's nice to have, of course, because Onslaught is so used champion stuff, but really I have always used unduped Onslaught up until now, and I have never once felt like, oh, if only my Onslaught was duped, I would have won this match or something like that. So... I get 1 mission points for Deathless She-Hulk from store. Okay, units a good deal or bad. Right now, do not do that if you play the game actively. Because Radiant store is coming, and you can get 5 of those things for Radiance only. 5k units right now is not the optimal way to go about getting that. 1 second. Should balance of this balance. Dazzler. Introducing Radiance. So, you have Radiance store. And here you have Deathless Piece selectors for like 56k, 57k, 59k, 63k. So that would probably be the best way to get. Because Radiance is going to come in other game modes as well, aside from Battlegrounds. And yeah. Okay, units is a lot of units. I don't know, please read last. Okay. And you recommend Warlock to be on the team? Punkman, I don't know how sure you're probably the sense that. Do you all make sense? No. I mean, Warlock can be alright too. You don't really need them though. Thekiryu was just like very handy for like Killmonger and stuff too. Warlock will not be. Omega Sentinel is a good replacement to Shuri for almost all the fights. Wolf. Morning. Knowing 3 Bullseye Jugs. Yeah, it entirely depends. You need attacker or defender, but I love Jugs. Jugs is like my favorite champion in game, so I would go Jugs. He's just so fucking fun. But there is no question that you would use, as in like get use out of your Bullseye more if you play a lot of Battlegrounds. But I'd still do Jugs. I do think Bullseye is probably a bit wiser. Thinking of buying some deals, which I should get me 1.6 shields. Which offer would be best considering I bought 3 of the tier 4 alpha and tier 6 offer? Honestly, again, I would recommend you get a champion that's super important and is missing, because all the rank up resources are going to depreciate over time. It is going to be easier to get champions to rank 3. It is going to be easier to get champions to rank 4 than it is right now. It is not going to get much easier to target or obtain specific champions. Does that make sense? So if you're like, it kind of depends where you're in the game. Outside of bundle 2 that gets you the catalyst, I think the 2 to 3 gem one is a very good bundle to get as well for more rank 3s. I do think targeting champion might be more important. Like, I have a decision to make now too. I'll definitely be getting one more champion selection, and I want Shocker dupe, Sentinel dupe, Black Panther Silver dupe, and Deadpool X-Force dupe. I'll get 1 or 2 of those, but I really need to figure out which ones, and then, yeah, whether 1 or 2, and whether I get some more rank 3s or not. Extremely important rank 4 today. Nice, Philip. Congratulations, man. Answer my question. What is your question, no one? Picking Kushala over Medusa's new 7-star beta? Kushala is more important to have. Medusa is significantly harder to acquire. I would pick Kushala, because Kushala is one of the better serpent counters, which is very significant right now. You can get in total 1.57 million max. Every single one of the free tokens that you can get is explained in this video. Exactly where you can get them and how you can get them. Victory, Sentinel, or next Titan? Sentinel. I mean, I'd pick Sentinel. I was able to max Sig rank 4 and level it. Nice. Max Sig rank 4 level. Which scout? Which? The OG one or the digital one? But yeah, just take a look at that video. It explains every single free token that you can earn. In its totality, for free, you can acquire 1.57 million. And Rethin, I mean, I'd probably, if you're free to play Valley and don't play competitively, if you're just playing for fun that wants to play with new champions, I'd pick that Titan X or Deadpool X-Force. You can play 6-star Deadpool X-Force if you want in questing content. And getting new champions, like new champions, not that easy. So if you're not playing competitively and just for fun and here and there, then, you know, getting a new toy is going to be more exciting. Purely, again, that is not a competitive game advice. That is nothing, you know, that's not quote-unquote the logical, strategically right thing for your account, stuff like that. If you're looking at it from fun perspective, if you love playing with new champions that to mess around with and stuff like that, I would go with Titan Nexus. I'd possibly save that Titan Nexus for the Crystal Pool change, but I'd go with Titan Nexus. Juggernaut to Werewolf for rank 3. Juggernaut's more important how. Werewolf's awesome, very versatile, and I am possibly gonna take my Werewolf to rank 4 over my Juggernaut. But having a rank 3 Juggernaut is super important. In theory, you should be able to counter Nick Fury's second life at Sig 1. Does anybody here have a low Sig Deadpool X-Force and can go and test that out? Because all my duped Deadpool X-Forces are max Sig. Yeah, if you hold the Nexus, it changes when the pool changes. So for instance, if you get the Titan Nexus right now, but hold it for 44 days, you will have a chance to get Jean Grey, you will have a chance to get Galen and crap like that. Well, the next champions enter it. If you hold your Titan Nexus for a year, when you open it you know, whatever's in Titan Nexus then is what you're gonna pull. A month Nexus are gonna be crazy. It does, I mean, 7-star Tiger's coming, man. David Boffa. Modern Spot rank 4. Those are cool rank ups. I don't really want anyone from those selectors except Chucker Dupe, and my luck has not been that good since 2 rank 3 jumps. Fair enough. It's up to you, man. You like to see 180? No, that's too high sig. You don't need Sig 180, that belongs to. The next, pick a champion. Pick a champion if there is somebody that you're after. Nick Fury and Fatman, who would first rank 4? I would be more likely to rank 4 Fatman purely because I have Tech 6. All other things being equal, I would want that rank 4 Nick Fury, because Nick Fury is one of my favorite champions. Tiger does need high sig, however, so far she's the only champion in that pool that demands a high sig. And if last year's Omega Days is any indication, Kabam's gonna give you 100 to 150 sig stones specific for those 6 champions. So you will have the ability to effectively take one of those champions up to a high sig. Does that make sense? Because last year in Omega Days you got like 100 or 150 Omega Days sig stones. Taking Shang-Chi and Omega rank 4 is worth it? Fuck no. That's not a no. That is not a hell no. That is not doubtful. That is definitely not. That is fuck no. It's not worth it. And no champions and selectors who would everyone pick. Photon and Onslaught are the best 2 picks in those selectors, value-wise. Onslaught is the best unawakened champion in the game. So if you're talking about unawakened champions, you know, that you acquired, yada yada yada, Onslaught is the way to go. Full 6-star Ibon, Paragon Nexus. Well, 7 stars coming soon. And for half gem in the milestones, yes. Yes, I'm 90-ish% sure there is going to be a rank 3 to 4 Art of Fire gem in the milestones for approximately 30k units. You know, once you reach 30k unit milestone, something like that. More than likely, yes, Soham. So 1.36 million Deadpool shields, what to buy? Can you suggest? I am Valiant. Again, if you have a big account, I would target a specific champion. If you're growing your account, I would get as much rank materials as I can from either bundle 2 or the 2 to 3 gem one. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I am quite sure there is going to be a 3 to 4 gem in Heart Fire cell, as well as an awakening gem of Heart Fire champions, as well as selector towards the end. As for me, well, I do have a rank 4 Onslaught right now. How many units for 1 Heart of the Champion pull? We do not know. First of all, it's going to be luck based. How many units for a guaranteed Heart of Fire champion? Well, I think that Kabam's actually going to give away or half give away 1 7-star to most people. And then it's, I don't know, 7, 8, 10k, something like that. Barbarian, your last message. I can try and find it. What is your last message? Badly Zola needs the dupe. Zola needs the dupe fuck all, basically. So here's the thing. Zola's dupe on defense hardly matters. It doesn't really matter. 98% of the use of your Zola is going to be on defense. Zola's dupe only matters on offense in order to give him higher damage output, but his damage output is still fairly mid. And in reality, you will rarely use Zola on offense. So, and if you do get him duped, duping alone doesn't do too much. It's the high sig level that's required for any meaningful amount of detonation. So yeah, like for instance, I would rank 3 and undupe Zola. I would never give Zola an awakening gem. I would not sig him up forcefully unless he's like top prestige. For what I plan to use him. If you do want to get the best offensive value out of him, which again is not great. Look at Zola kind of like as... No, not even Serpent is a bad comparison. He's like a champion that 98% time goes in. And look at him as the Thing, for instance, when Thing was a very popular defender. Except now, imagine that the dupe helps Thing be better on attack, almost exclusively, and gives him somewhat more possible damage. The gacha box. I kind of expect that to be a gacha box, but Kabam has, if I'm not mistaken, 1 second, I'll show you. Use the language. And man. Kabam has used the language. Where's that post? Confirm. There you go. Here's the post, right? The entire future, Ant-Man emerges in Heart of Fire Crystal. Truth comic. So there will definitely be crystals, and that has confirmed. Has been confirmed. I don't know about the gacha box, but they say crystal here. That's the biggest amount of hint lead that they can give you. Gap. No. And it's hashing synergy for full potential. Yep. Jessica, Sable, and Purgatory. Jessica, kind of cool. Hey, I mean, like, whatever floats that guy's boat. The Onslaught needs to be duped. Prestige reasons only, not for playstyle reasons. Like, I have used unduped Onslaught up until yesterday. Not once I have been, like, you know, desperate for that Onslaught dupe. The rank for Onslaught caused me to already send in a mulligan ticket to Kabam. Think only. Nope. Nope. Leave my Onslaught alone, Steve. Leave my Onslaught alone. Also, welcome, Truth Comic. As a basic rotation for Serpent in Ordeal fights, the same rotation as everywhere else. Do you know how to do the level 2 with Massacre when you do like 3-hit combo an opponent, slide pause, and activate your level 2? The same thing with Serpent, except you spam your level 1s for the most part. You just spam your level 1s and you try to shoot your level 1 in their block. So either you dash in, start hitting their block, and then activate level 1, or you do this 1, 2, 3, and typically, you know, in competitive content, they put up their block. That makes sense? Better Silk or Spider Ham? Better pick. Silk is the sexier one. I genuinely think Spider Ham is a slightly better champion. Yeah. Just spam level 1s and blocks is very good. Yeah, pretty much. The middle talk? What's getting boring? Well, I am so sorry you feel bored. I shall make my peace with it though. So you think I saw that? Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sure they will get you, because I did the same math, buddy. Because again, it's not just about this sale. It's also about Heart of Fire. And again, I'm about 90% convinced that Heart of Fire is going to feature another 3 to 4 rank up gem. It's gonna feature Heart of Fire Awakening gem and all the other stuff. And knowing for a fact that, you know, I'm gonna get either Tiger or Nick Fury or Fam and stuff like that, and we'll be able to run them up there. Wedding fund? Alright, I'm getting married in July, buddy. Did I get a new girlfriend? Well, she's not girlfriend anymore. You could say that she's my fiance. And we have been together now for almost a year. I know her for a bit over than a year, but we have been 11th of May is going to be 1 year anniversary for us since we met. One Valiant, Pack Pull Shield, most worth the tech. Again, for bigger accounts, the best value is targeting a champion that you really want to get. For smaller accounts, either pack 2 or the 2 to 3 gem one. Silk or Titania? I much more prefer Silk, but you can make an argument for Titania. Right now I end up using my Titanium more than I use my Silk. That's currently in like last couple of months. And both of them are like rank 3 Sig something. Do you think Spider-Woman going to be better than Spider-Ham? No. I think Spider-Woman is going to be good. I do think currently Spider-Ham is a top 3 science champion. Yeah, imagine if Intimidate worked, then Titania would be definite. And the final would be a bigger account compared to smaller in your opinion? Okay, I think it's not an exact accent. Like, what's the best way to explain this? I did it yesterday on stream as well. If you don't have any champions, okay, I'm gonna do this again. You damn it, you're forcing me. This is entirely your fault. Alright, so the explanation there, Slinger. I'll give you the full honcho rundown here, yeah? So imagine any class champion. So you're gonna, for the sake of argument, take a look at tech class. You have some duds, you have some mid champions, so you have some good champions. Let's say arguably, when it comes to 7-star champion pools, BAM has completely excluded all the duds, like there are no Iron Patriots, stuff like that. And realistically, if you have like 0 7-stars, approximately every second crystal you open is going to be a good worthwhile pull. Like, it doesn't really matter that much whether you pull, you know, Shocker, Penny Parker, Red Skull, you know, Ironheart, etc. All of those champions are decent / good and usable. So about every second, maybe 1 of the 3 crystals that you open is going to be a decent champion. So that means that you need a very significant amount of rank up materials, because you're going to be pulling a lot of good champions that you would want to rank up quickly. And it's fairly easy for you comparatively to come across a decent champion in the tech class. The same goes for every other class if you have like very few champions as 7-stars. Because again, in mutant class, every second crystal that you open that's mutant is going to be a good champion for you. Or usable, you know. It might not be, I don't know, Onslaught, it might not be something, but it'll be good, you know. It'll be the Havocs, the Sunspot stuff like that. So good champions come statistically quite often with every other, every third, every fourth crystal pull. If you have most of these champions, it's almost impossible to get what you're looking for. You're just gonna get double dupes, triple dupes, quadruple dupes on good or bad champions, but either way, that's not gonna advance you much. So the bigger your account is, the harder for you it is to have a good, positive, meaningful, impactful crystal pull. Therefore, ability to target the champion specifically becomes significantly more valuable. If your account is fairly small, And if you look at, you know, which sense that you do have and you do not have, and you realize that there are a crap ton of good outcomes whenever you open a crystal. Like for me, instance, that's not the case. Like if I, for instance, now, when I looked at which class crystal should I take, I realized that in almost all the classes there are only like 1 to 2 good pulls for me. Except Tech, which had 4. Out of like, let's say 20 champions that are in any class 7-star pool or 25, in most cases I only get like 5-3-2% chance to get something that I'm actually looking for. So for me, the ability to target champion is significant. If you look at any champion class and you see like 6, 7, 8, 9 champions that you are after, and any one of those 9 would be a good pull that you're happy with, then you want rank up materials. Because chances are that you're going to be wanting to rank up a lot of champions in very quick succession. If there are not many champions that you are still hunting for, especially in the base pool, then you definitely want a selector. Does that make sense? So what I would consider a big account, I'd say if you have like 30 plus rank 3s, I would call that a fairly big account. Yeah. If you have like 20 or less rank 3s, I'd call that a fairly mid-size account. You have somewhere in between 20 or 30, where it would make sense to do either. Depends how you feel. If you have under 20 rank 3s, I'd call that a small account for Valiant. That makes sense? And I'm glad you enjoyed that, Kato. Most rank 1 and 2. You don't want rank 3 and you only have 1 rank 4, so I know what I need to do. Thanks. Welcome, Slinger. You are very much so welcome. See? All of these answers are also, by the way, purely theoretical, and I try my best to explain my logic in providing them. At any given point, you know, there's also the aspect of game, fun, thrill-seeking, and your own personal preferences. You know, if you ask me, which is the best champion to select if I don't have any from those selectors, you know, the answer is Onslaught. But maybe, just maybe, you know, you really, really want the Silk. And you think Silk's cool, and you would just go for fucking Silk. Or maybe you really, really want, you know, or you're really good with a specific champion. Do that. So whatever I answer, I try to answer with kind of like thought process attached to it. But again, remember that this is a game. And there are reasons why we play it, and that reason is not to make the most calculated and statistically correct play every time. Often in this game, I myself and just about everybody that I know go, fuck it, I know it's wrong, but I want to. Anybody remember the Jeremy Clarkson meme? This is brilliant, but I like this. And that's perfectly fine. Did I get Red Guardian yet? I have 20 ranks 3, I do have a problem. Roster is above average. I mean, look, that's fair. Like, again, I'm not saying it isn't. I answered on as to what is my perception of these things. That perception is going to absolutely change based on your own, you know, personal circumstances. And that is fine. I'm not trying to make you lesser than. I'm trying to answer, when I talk about big or small accounts, what I imagine in my head. How much does she need to be duped and high sig? Berg is alright. Berg has her uses. She's usable on dupe for sure. There are benefits that come with dupe. My Purgatory is rank 2 on dupe. Where is she probably going to stay? Purgatory is a brilliant champion for longer quests or longer for content. Thekiryu is a less than brilliant champion. She's good, but she's not, you know, a must-have type champion in shorter form content with no ramp up and stuff like that, like Battlegrounds, for instance. So there we are. I like Thekiryu a lot as a champion. Thekiryu in like longer fights is one of the best serpent counters, for instance. Thekiryu is not a great Battleground serpent counter. It's a bit too quick. I mean, she can counter serpent, but you know, fuck. Oh, fuck you, man. Two shockers because that's I needed the most. Yeah, I think I have. Okay, so we can switch tables. I want a dupe on Sentinel. I want a dupe on Shocker. I want a dupe on Deadpool X-Force. I want a dupe on Black Panther Civil War. Black Panther Civil War a bit less so we can put that off. It's in between Shocker, Sentinel, and Deadpool X-Force. I can pick up to 2 of those. I'm currently deciding. Let's go. I'll do which one rank 4. If you're great with Prowler, that's who I'd pick. Otherwise, I'd go Red Skull. But Red Skull is one of those champions that does best punching up. Like, for instance, 6-star Red Skull can still hold you on defense if you can't crit for shit, and the 6-star Red Skull can still do rank 3 domino in like under 60 seconds. And I agree with your logic, of course. I understand it is subjective. Small new changes never look at my account and I think it is huge, but I don't hang with those players. I'm mostly with players like yourself. So I am mid to small. But it was an effort moment. I went Deadpool X-Force because I wanted. Yeah, exactly the way I'm talking about. You know, we all have those. I don't have fucking, but I want to. Less than C5, so I guess I don't have to worry much. Of course you don't have to worry much. Katie, are you getting married? Yes, I am. How bad does Lumitrix need his awakened ability? Lumitrix does not need his awakened ability at all, unless you're talking a specific defensive matchups. As in, like, it helps. It primarily is meant to help Lumitrix on defense, really. Because offensively, it doesn't really do that much for him at all. And even defensively, in 9 fights out of 10, it will not matter that much. Yeah. I don't think Lumitrix dupe is particularly valuable, I'll put it like that. Yeah. Okay. Ads on live stream is a crime? No. First of all, I'm not even doing that. YouTube offered me an opportunity for them to handle it, so I don't even get involved with that. Second of all, Mr. Bergie, you know, got to eat. Don't see a membership badge right next to your name. That is the crime. Or you can just use an ad guard. Or have a YouTube Premium. If you use YouTube Blood. How about that? How about the real criminals? Okay, just blow up, buddy. Yeah, Dormammu had a... If Dormammu got a tweak, he would be a good champion. Hitmonkey 5-star, Morningstar, 6-star, Onslaught, 4-star. Yeah, Hitmonkey 5-star probably, for new accounts. Among selectors, the best champs for me are Shocker, Venom, Domino, Bishop. Who should I choose? Shocker. Shocker. For meaningful competitive play, Venom has practically disappeared. hardly any Venoms around now, and like celestial level Balagons for like last half year. So not blaming for that. They're annoying for him with streams. It should not be that many though, because it's meant to have like a quote-unquote balanced viewing experience. Because the only thing you can control is like you have very few ads, you have a balanced amount of ads, or you have a shit ton of ads. I left it on the default setting, which is called balanced. Don't let Thanos heavy stand alone would make him a lot better. Yeah, that alone would help. Plus, obviously, a bit of numbers increase. I use Brave browser for YouTube, not Chrome. That helps with ads. Huh. I didn't even know about that browser. But I do have YouTube Premium because I often use YouTube for a shit ton of things. So, when is my wedding? My wedding is on July the 26th. Anybody remember when slow playing Vision was like the only way to completely avoid Magic's limbo damage? And then rely on synthesis to kind of like, or using other Vision kind of worked too. Big Werewolf or American Chows or Silk? Helkoshalin, Photon, and Onslaught. I would, out of all of those, I'd pick Chowers personally. Werewolf is incredibly versatile, but I don't find him to be as, you know, must-have as Chowers. Hawkeye slow play. Yeah, no, you couldn't do that with Hawkeye, I think, because you didn't drain enough. Because Vision had the thingy where he, you know, synthesized himself. It's unusable without premium, so I had to put it. There you go. That is what I'm thinking. Region is support for YouTube memberships. Even PayPal isn't. Oof. That sucks. There should be a way for you to get an ad blocker or something. Shield starting growing you. Shield is one of those champions that I will forever carry on describing as solid. Shield's not an insane, busted, broken, god tier beyond God knows what. No, she's just fucking not. She's also definitely a good champion. Now, there are metas where she's very good. There are matchups where she's the best option. And, you know, can be incredibly good. That's how I look at Shield. Shield is not a champion that I particularly was desperate to rank up. But I ended up taking my Shield to rank 3 because, again, she was answering the problems. Special one is on solo going to help me a lot. Okay, yeah. Yeah, same. You do premium kind of policy. Yeah, that is super helpful, Pi. Yeah. No, don't use Brave. What's wrong with Brave? I mean, I don't use it either, but fine. Oh, it's the phone you do. I think you can get that sorted on phone too. Well, either way, any ad you see helps me out a little bit. Just like any like button that you fuckers did not hit. Why are we only on 18 likes? I see how it is. I see how it is. Okay. Not gonna be talking to you then. I shall not talk to any of you. What's it like? Zip it, shorty. Shut
up and take my
money. Hendrix.
Hendrix G $9.99. Fools rush in. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Ben. You can send Dust with the extra CK pool is a good deal. You get 4 Ascensions. I don't think Ascension... Like, here's the thing. 6-star Ascended Champions... It depends where you're at in the game and what you do that for. But yeah, huge thank you, Hendrix. But Ascension has lost majority of its charm right now because 6-star Ascended Champions just can't really compete. So it's getting kind of less meaningful to me. Like, Ascensions initially felt like incredible because you could ascend the best champions in the game, and whilst there were a ton of 6-star rank 5s and 7-star rank 2s and a bunch of 7-star rank 3s, you felt like ascended champions are still within there. You don't anymore for a while because almost everybody has decks full with rank 3s exclusively and rank 4s. And a couple of, you know, chosen 6-stars. So, you know, for instance, whenever I added my 6-star Ascended Shocker, not only I lost a whole bunch of matches because my Shocker's damage output was just a bit short, fighting the 7-star rank 3s. Also, every other time I drafted my 6-star Shocker, you guys started making fun of me for using a Power T Shocker. There's a poor people Shocker. Look at that dirty scrub. He's using a 6-star Shocker. Boo. Oh, we're getting the dust in order to send my 6-star iron, huh? Fair enough. For obviously non-competitive content. Yeah. 6-star Ascended champions can do everything in game. Like Necropolis and shit. Competitive content, they're just not there anymore. That's how it would be a thing. Yeah, I do think 7-star Ascensions will come at some point. 7-star Dead Plexus, nice. Congratulations. Not wrong. Pretty much could care less about Ascension Dust at this point. Yeah, exactly. There was a time when Ascension Dust was like crack. Now it's like an ibuprofen at best. The Radiance in case they drop magic? No, I will not save my Radiance in case they drop magic. Why would I? If they drop magic, then what does that have to do with my Radiance stash? Aside from the fact that I could get a couple more crystals. You rank up dupe Northstar or an unduped Professor X? I wouldn't want to rank up either one of those fuckers, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think either one of them is particularly the best investment. They can do some crazy shit, but there are a ton of champions that can do some crazy shit and be usable daily. Should I choose Awaken, Onslaught, New Photon? Nobody. You want the New Photon, trust me. Don't overthink it. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. You want the New Photon. They hinted at limited time deals? Whoopsies. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose a fucking arena fight to a fucking Groot. No, I will not. Ah, I did! Awakening Sentinel worth it? I think so. I think I'm going for it. A Sentinel Awakening. I need to pick in between Deadpool X-Force Awakening, Sentinel Awakening, and Shocker Dupe. I can pick one or two of those. Can't get all three anymore. Finally getting a Photon? Congratulations. I'm gonna Cosmic King Groot now. King Groot OP, I know, right? Do you think Mans will be good rank 3 for season 28 BGs? Yes. Mantis is going... Yeah, Mantis is gonna be good. Mantis doesn't stun. Oh yeah, modification and... yeah. In sense of some evolution. Yeah, that makes sense. Because again, if you're not highest progression level in the game, your primary focus in the game should be getting the highest progression level. In my opinion. Medusa's 6 sweet spot. Let's take a quick look, shall we? My Medusa is like 670, which I'm perfectly happy with. I don't plan on giving her more 6 stones. That also has to do with the amount of free 6 stones that we got from that. Right, so, where's that redhead biznatch? Doesn't really have a sweet spot. If I had to guess, I'd say probably at around 80 is fine. It doesn't really have a sweet spot though. There we go. Awakening shard felt too expensive? Yes. Wait, why? Green just hung up. My PC might be struggling somewhere. 1 second. 1 second. This game is so much nicer without Herc's not good for the game debate. Yeah, I know those filthy bootlickers. I agree. That's fine. Fine. I think 2 extra. Probably need to close some windows. Fine, let's close this. Close this. I mean, it shouldn't. That meaningful. Close this. Close this. This and this. Okay, we're good now. Got skill gem? I just need Nick. Well, don't we all, buddy? Don't we all? I mean, I have 1 skill gem waiting. 2. Chels is good for current victory track meta. Yes. Chels is good for current victory tank meta. Chels will suck in the weak Street for Gladiator second meta. Passive stun still reflects stunning reflection shield thingy. Good time to return. At the moment, people are hyped, so might as well be. The Mac Russian. Awakening Gemini on Tuma? I would not have. Herc would break the game sense that? Not competitively. Herc would kind of break the game for, you know, story content, folks and stuff. But, you know, Balga and stuff like that, I don't think he would have that big of an impact. Good skill for Nick, tech for Fam, maybe Cosmo for Phoenix, immune for Cyclops. Sure who will use that class gems on. How many fucking gems have you got? Smell blubber in the air, Rajat. A generic name, gem, just pull Dazzler Prowler. Who should I use, Don? I think Dazzler needs it more if you are desperate to use it. I mean, I'd probably try to save my generic for a bit still. But Dazzler needs it infinitely more than Prowler. But I'd hold that generic. Do as fun need? No, fun does not need max. I mean, it's nice, but you can do well with Fant at a mid to low sig. Like, to put it this way, Fant is not the type of champion that I would overly commit 6 stones to. And we're getting Senstar God because Kabam has PTSD from that Senstar God. Plus. Not even sure how to break the game for study. They made so many nodes that don't make him. Yeah, exactly. It's just that people would spam the level 1 revives. That's what Kabam's like worried. Because even if Herc is not the best champion for something, people just go YOLO with Herc. They just go like, oh, fuck it, I have Herc, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know, and as long as immortality works, then you just like, I don't care. You know, there's hazard shift, then there's crap like that. And they're like, I don't care. That is why Kabam does not like Herc so much. It's not because you'd... What's the best way? It's not because Herc would necessarily be the most efficient way to complete a piece of content. It's because Herc would be the brain-dead way to complete a piece of content. Because Kabam hates champions like that. Oh yeah, 7-star Doom is way more believable. But hey guys, oh wait! I need to get a piggy bank. I need to get myself a piggy bank. How many units from a piggy bank do you guys think? Herc is like the summoner's personal choice of cocaine. The godly feeling of invincibility. That was what Quake was to me. Like, whenever I played Quake, I just felt infinitely superior. It felt like puny Kabam nodes doesn't matter, puny Kabam champion annoying defender abilities doesn't matter, basically. Whenever there was a new piece of content or a new tricky fight, I only had one question. Can I Quake it? Copy Superior Line, we know who's the boss. Hey. Just living in delusions. Let me. She lets me believe I'm the big boss, okay? Quake trivialized content. I mean, she really did. Hey, how many units we get here? 275 units. Do I get anything if I'm close? Yeah, I'm gonna send you to the Gulag if you're correct. If it is 275 units, I'll send Rezvan to the Gulag. If it is within 10 units... Okay. If it's less than 135, I'm gonna send everybody to the Gulag. 260. It is fairly close though. So no Gulag. 400, I wish. 260. I mean, still double the amount Parker Walls get you. See these guys, by the way? There's 125k Titan shots waiting patiently. Is there anything else interesting to open? So my first ebook path now. Stuck at Ares. Get in that arena, boy. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Ares gets exponentially easier the more you fight him, but initial clear costs 20 plus rebuffs, probably, for most people. Who do you select between General and Nefaria from Titan X? Nefaria. Anyone? Send them to the dungeon. Why is Gulag not good enough anymore? I am in arena right now. You are in arena and you stay there. Stay there until there is there. 50 bucks ever. Side score design Quake no longer works at Kabam. I mean, first of all, I'll take that 50 bucks K-Dog because I happen to know for a fact that the person who designed Quake does in fact work for Kabam. Nah, I'm bullshitting. They fired him a long time ago. I don't think there is a single champion designer left from that time. But you know what is the funny thing? Like, anybody wants to hear a little bit of MCOC history time? And just a wee bit of MCOC lore. I promise I will not cringe it up like that dude in the Kabam video. The Photon helped me a lot, yeah? Photon. Rank 3, Shuri, Jack, or Nefaria. All duped. I would start with Nef.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, it's up, bro.
Rob Smith,
Thanks for $2.
$2.
I'd pick Nef. Probably. If my Nef was duped. Last several months, there were quite few times where I really wished to have a rank 3 duped Nefaria. I have rank 2 unduped one. And I do have a science gem, but I don't have any science 6
Shut
ones.
up and take my money.
Rob Smith, $2.
Alright, anybody wants to hear that bit of Quake lore? So here goes. Quake was released. And I know this is gonna sound shocking. What's up, bro? This is gonna sound absolutely shocking. Quake got released bugged. Since nobody really knew how to play her perfectly. And nobody really bothered because her damage just didn't seem to be there. Quake was considered to be a mid-champion for her initial half a year or a year of life in MCOC. You see. Then eventually, out of nowhere, unprompted by anyone, because there weren't like, man, oh, Quake's bugged, fix the Quake, when will we fix the Quake? You know, there was no kind of constant pressure from community. Nobody was talking about it, nobody gave a shit about Quake. Quake was just like a mid-champion. Quake was like fucking, you know, Iron Patriot. Well, not Iron Patriot, but you guys get the point. Like, nobody cared. Nobody really ranked her. Nobody cared for her much. She was cool. She had some cool synergies, and that was like the main use of Quake. To increase the ability accuracy of some stun loop champions and stuff like that. And then Kabam fixed that. And her damage all of a sudden was reasonable. But whoever designed Quake, she's not slow. Quake's not slow. You think Quake is slow because you're using like a fucking 5-star Quake now. In real time, in real terms, like Quake is not a nuke. But if Quake was a 7-star rank 3, she would finish just about all the fights in like 60 seconds or under. She wouldn't be a nuke, but she wouldn't be slow. Anyways, I have done some time comparisons on Quake video back in the day as well. Anyways, point being is, all of a sudden Quake was viable. And people went nuts for that, because obviously it was a unique playstyle, which was unintended, by the way. Because whoever designed Quake did not see us learning how to Quake without getting touched ever. Or just, you know, even Quake parry, you know, parry heavy charge, that was a not particularly intended playstyle. They still thought we would be hitting the opponent and gaining power and using the special attacks and then, you know, charging that heavy, evading once and then hitting them again and stuff like that. But that did not happen. And we very quickly picked up the playstyle where you can play Quake without even parrying. And then eventually we picked up playstyle where you could Quake without actually doing anything else but just fucking charging heavy attack. Without actually dexing. And what's the best way to put it? It was so unintended and unexpected that there were players getting banned for doing perfect fights with Quake. Right? Without ever getting... Like, opponent doesn't get hit once. Quake never gets hit once. There's no contact being made in the entire fight. And you finish the fight with 100% health and the opponent's dead. And there were people banned for it. I was in an alliance with a guy that was one of the first, like, really, really good Quake players, and he legitimately got banned, submitted the video proof, everything else, and got unbanned. But that was around the time Kabam became aware of the Quake as a potential problem, which continued to plague them for a very long time. But there are a few more things of Quake lore that people have forgotten. Number one, for a while, Quake used to break AI. And if you did everything correctly, AI didn't even try to hit you for like a period of 3 months to half a year. But you just charged a heavy attack and AI just stood there still. That is not a bonkers thing. So you could Quake fights that you should have no business of quaking. just by the mere fact that AI just froze. So Quake not only broke, you know, the whole ecosystem of nodes and champion abilities, Quake also broke the fucking AI. And Kabam had to adjust the AI in order for that not to happen. There are a few more things about Quake. But okay, fine. Anyways. Yes, Quake not only could, but I believe she still does that. Quake switched up Domino's ability accuracy reduction by starting the fight with a heavy charge. What's up, Ella? But yeah, there are some interesting times with Quake. So, long story short, Kabam has an insane PTSD from Quake. There's just no other way to put it, yeah? So I think, and you know, whoever designed Quake got fucking roasted in the office before he got eventually fired or left the company. And then, you know, whenever that guy said anything in the meetings, you know, people were like, shut up, you designed Quake, you have no right to speak. Because the dude legitimately, accidentally created, you know, a cheat system in the game. Yeah, some people could even Quake with no decks. I was so with it. I mean, like, I could do some fights, but I wasn't, like, perfect with it. So what playstyle was even intended design? Best I can tell, the intended design was that, for instance, now and then you charge your heavy attack, you get some charges on you, and then you start hitting your opponent, and hopefully the opponent gets stunned, that gets you another opening, and then you drop your special attack that gets you some charges, and in a free moment you charge your heavy attack again. But the intended design was that you actually do hit your opponent, you use your heavy attacks now and then, and yeah. Oh boy, they were fucking wrong. That was the one thing, yeah. Your thumbs and your fingers start to hurt fast. I remember doing wars where I had like 11 fights with Quake and I had to take like 3-4 breaks. You Quake like 2 fights and you're like, oh, this fucking hurts. I love it. It burns, but I love it. But it hurts. And then you just Quake another bunch of fights. Do you think you'll take max out hard fire event? Last year it was 36k, so I think it should be similar to that. And alright, when you quaked a lot, and I quaked some like Labyrinth of Legends fights and stuff, then your fingers got abs. Fingers got jacked. That was about 5-6 minutes. No, she did have the 100% concussion ability too. It's just that the damage didn't stack, and that was the issue. Because it was like unrealistic playstyle, because her concussion damage, like when you charge the Quake, you can get up to 20 charged and each one of them does damage, right? Initially, the bug was that it only registered the damage from 1. So whenever you quaked, you did like up to 20 times less damage than you would normally do. It still had the 100% ability accuracy reduction thing. It's just that, yeah, it had virtually non-existent damage on the heavy charges. And once they actually, like, you know, let you do damage by charging heavy attack, that was game over for everybody. How was the reception of Ghost for lunch? First, initial impressions were kind of lukewarm until I believe it was Pandem and Pete who went ham with Ghost, and then soon after, Ghost just kind of kicked off. Dazzler, I do not think so, no. I have a rank 2 unduped Dazzler. As soon as I dupe her, I will rank 3 her. I have no desire to do that right now. I do have a desire to dupe a Dazzler though. The reception of Corvus on launch was ridiculous. Oh, will we?
Wolverine £2. Who is your favorite MCOC content creator?
That's a trick question. I hate them all.
Let's go, bub.
Again, I don't think I have one favorite content creator. Yeah. A whole bunch of them. I miss some of the OG folks though. I missed Idolist. I loved watching Idolist videos back in the day. Cade had like a fucking wonderful radio voice. Could listen to his streams before sleep. Currently I like watching Rappy, quite good. There are a few more though. Very meta, Blade meta, Chorus meta, and then Herc meta. Something like that, yeah. Quake and Blade kind of coexisted for the majority of the life. Majority, I think. And yeah, Herc replaced Chorus. Matthew?
I'm sorry,
I don't think I know
Actually,
him.
what I said was, how would you like to suck my balls, Mr. Turkey?
But yeah, there are quite a lot of people that, you know, enjoy hanging around a little bit. I'm sure you are your favorite content creator. No, actually, like, on a more open serious note, I have issues with self-critique. Like, I often really don't like myself. I'm always quite harsh on myself in my head. And I am my own worst enemy, so to speak. And I have a tendency to eat myself up for a bunch of things, so definitely not. I am not my own favorite content creator. There's that really got a lot of people with Panda and Pete. Yeah, exactly. Panda made Ghost very, very popular. And obviously, then many more people kind of chimed in. There is no promo code as far as I am aware right now. Like Idolist? Yeah, Idolist is cool. Idolist was a Sentry simp, and that was Sentry before buff. He used Sentry in fucking Alliance mode. That was one of those. I respect what you're doing, but it's fucking dumb. But he was a cool guy, like, no question asked about that. Did this instead of Gun Kitty? Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. It's like, if you guys have heard me be slightly critical towards Kabam at any given point towards my YouTube endeavors, and believe me, things that I say to myself in my head are infinitely worse to anything that I have ever said to anybody working for Kabam. Does that make sense? Then we'll see to come out in the champion. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Thanks, Ollie. I mean, I don't want rank 3 Maniferi and duped. I'll be like, I do think dupe is important. 37. That's a while there, buddy. People go to prison for less. As in, like, less than 37 months. So simply, Hades. Well, there we go. We have gotten some units from this. It has been such a long time since I grinded any units in this arena, man. I can't believe it still gives you premium hero crystal shots, man. The fuck is that? But good question, sure. Ask away. I promise we won't. Come on. Ah, fine. Nah. I spend more time getting these channels than Netflix. Pretty sure it makes me my favorite content creator. Yeah. Very sweet, Kato. And I am always happy to see you. You want to do a friendly match? Not right now. Stop playing this game 4 years ago. Best decision ever. What's up to you? Well, thank you, Nick J. From the selector, who should I take? Awakening, Shocker, or Photon? Or a new champion like Kushala, Medusa, and another Rexels? But okay. That's a rough one. It's definitely not an awakening, in my opinion. It'll be the new champion. I think I'd pick either Kushala or Deadpool Exports. Kushala because she's kind of the most significant of the bunch right there, because she's the Serpent counter, and especially if you do not have all the other Serpent counters like Shatras and Spirals and crap, you definitely do want Kushala, and she's very, very good. Other than that, Deadpool X-Force, because he's best of them unduped, and he's the more rare. So I'd pick in between Kushala and Deadpool X-Force. That's about as far as I'm willing to narrow it down for you. Well, about Battle 2 Rise and got rank 3 Bullseye and rank 3 Spiral got 10. Got rank 2 Battle. Okay, just gulag him. He might not be going to hell right now, but he sure as shit is going to the gulag. Okay, dog? Boss! Get him. You watched you season 5? No, I didn't. Wait, why? A because. Yes. Because. Needs to be done. Wait, why? It was heartbreaking? Nah, fine. That's fine. Deep down, I'm sure Hades understands why. I'm talking about Jaggy boy a lot these days. That is true. Jaggy is filthy good though. Imagine there's somebody who buys Wakandan winged. I would like to see like in each individual like Valiant Crystal. How many of these fuckers has Kabam sold? Like, how many Wakandan winged crystals has Kabam sneakily sold to players? Hey, who the fuck? Under what conditions? Like, the fuck? I'd be shocked if the number of Wakandan wing crystals they have sold is higher than 7. Not 700, not 700, 7 crystals. And I'm sure that those were purchased by mistake. But like a toddler on dad's phone or something. What makes Kush also good for Serpent? Say Chavez. Kush need to be awakening to be good. Now Kush does not need to be awakened to be good for Serpent. What makes Kushala good for Serpent is well, it's several things, but I'll try and demonstrate to you quickly. The first thing there are a lot of things that work very well. Just about most of Kushala's abilities make her good Serpent counter. Number 1 is she can also block unblockable attacks and regens the block damage taken and energy damage thing with her blue thingies. She slightly reduces his power gain and get that power for herself. She makes AI more aggressive, so he's always going to throw specials, or just about always. She gets rid of the Fury buff and everything else, so you take less damage as is. You still get that willpower heal from that. That typically is good enough. And yeah, you nullify those power gains often enough too, for that not to be like a major issue. Even when you take the big fat level 2s on the block, you see my health kind of goes up, and then with willpower and everything else, everything's chill. And then obviously the only thing that I screwed up in this fight is I didn't manage the end of the fight, but the very end of the fight is a bit important. But you're always fine at the end of the fight in like Battlegrounds fights, because you will have some incinerates on, and he's not gonna heal with his immortality. And then only thing you need to do is kind of like go for a combo into a relic, into a special attack for immortality to expire and him to be immediately dead. The best thing about Kushala fighting Serpent is, unlike Chavez, she doesn't rely on crits, and she's great punching upwards. So for instance, rank 2 Kushala will easily nuke down a rank 4 Serpent. Rank 2 Chavez will take a very long time dealing with rank 4 Serpent. Obviously there are metas and node combinations and situations when, you know, Chavez is better or somebody else is better. Overall, the best Serpent counter I think is Spiral, but Kushala is objectively better. Because yeah, she has that taunt-like mechanic that, you know, lessens the risk of you eating level 3. Steals a bit of his power, slightly reduces his power gain. You can block unblockables, you regen unblock, plus you get the willpower healing from that fear. Then you have, you know, all the incinerates removing his healing at the end of the fight. So yeah, it just works out well. Crazy War yesterday? Yeah, I fucked up quite badly in the stupid domino fight. She just didn't throw a special 3, but yeah, well played, guys. Probably felt like Twin Brother Pillar Mask or something. It was something a bit wild, yeah. Yes, Slinger, that is what I'm trying to tell you. You remember before they just changed decks and MS used to be OP on defense with Max MD? Yeah, I do remember that. MD used to be OP. Yeah, Kushala is a very good questing champion too. And Kushala has one of the best nullifies of any champion currently popular and used in the game. Because a level 1 nullifies everything. I said wrong. It's simply Hades chill. It's a joke. Fine. We are just envious of how well you are doing. That's all. Fine. The timer was so long? No, it wasn't. You're already back. It just felt like eternity because you're in solitary. Ah. Oh. It's okay, Hades. It's okay. Calm down. Everything's okay now. Alright, guys. That's it for this stream. I guess I'll do some friendly BGs later in the evening, likely. If you guys wanna. Tell me what I should say. Nothing you said is bad or wrong. What's up, Sonia? Oh, Gel and ready to flex. Alright. Fix. Alright. See you in a bit, guys. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So